Welcome, parents, students, teachers and distinguished guests to the graduation of our Year 13 class of 2016. It's such an honour to welcome you here to Bromsgrove this evening. Tonight is their graduation ceremony. Tomorrow will be their prom. Before we begin our graduation this evening, I would like to publicly thank a parent without whom the prom tomorrow would not have been possible. An enormous thank you from me, all of our students and staff here, to Kunrakdi for her help and support. You've been absolutely amazing in helping us organise our prom for these lovely students in Year 13. I'd like to invite you to the stage to receive a small token of our appreciation. Please join me in giving Kunrakdi a round of applause. And Kunrakdi, just as you leave the stage, I have to say Mr. Williams also adds his thanks. He said thank you very much. So now let us begin our celebration of our graduating class of 2016. How else to start the evening celebrations but with a musical number from 4 of our really talented students who've been part of the ensemble here at Bromsgrove. Please welcome to the stage Iga, Kendon, Maria and Jade.
Those schoolgirl days of telling tales and biting nails
think you'll all agree that was a wonderful way to start off our celebrations this evening. And I've got a feeling we've already got some slightly teary eyes in the house looking around. Now, if I can invite Dr. Moore to the stage, the headmaster of Bromsgrove, to deliver his graduation speech. Thank you.
Good evening, students, parents, teachers and distinguished guests, and welcome to our Year 13 Graduation Ceremony. A graduation ceremony is always such a special occasion, the culmination of years of hard work, the actualization of goals attained, and the acknowledgement of success achieved. So it is only fitting that tonight we commemorate the road that we have all travelled together these last few years at Bromsgrove. It has been a journey that started with tentative steps perhaps, but one that has taken you all to remarkable heights. You will have encountered some trials and tribulations along the way, soldiered on, come out stronger for them. You have experienced exceptional moments, magical moments, and created memories that will be fondly remembered in the years ahead. You are ready, willing, and more than able to grasp the torch that we bestow upon every one of you. Yours is the future, and on you the world will come to depend one day. You will have made bonds of friendship during your time at Bromsgrove that will no doubt be with you for the rest of your lives, especially with you all living in this wonderful digital age where you can FaceTime, Skype, WhatsApp, and whatever you like from each other from dorms at universities across the entire world. And now as graduates, I want to give you some food for thought and bestow some pearls of Dr. Moore's wisdom upon you. Not surprising there. As you go out into the big wide world ahead of you. Remember the following things. There is no elevator to being successful, simply steps. Remember that when the floods come, the fish eat the ants, but when the floods recede, the ants eat the fish. In life, timing is everything. When you go to a rock concert, the best seats in the house are at the front of the stage, but when you go to the cinema, the best seats are at the back. Remember this. Your position in life is only relative, not absolute. For making soap, oil is required. But to wash off the oil, soap is required. This is irony, and you will find out a lot about that in life. Make sure every one of you leads by example. Work hard, play even harder, but don't break the law. Choose a career that makes you truly excited to get up in the morning. Then you will never work a day in your life. Never stop learning and discovering new things around the world and literature and everything that you behold. Your brain shrinks significantly past the age of 40, as I have discovered, by forgetting many things. So keep your brain fed and your knowledge wide. Never be afraid to try something new, and remember that amateurs built the Ark, professionals built the Titanic. Didn't get a laugh last time. Most importantly, ensure you marry for love, not to make your parents happy, or for money, or for status in society. Though I am sure you'll agree that Mrs. Moore married me for my good looks and immense charm. May your years ahead of you continue to be characterised by empathy, compassion, objectivity, and a willingness to truly take risks. Failure is good, as I have said to many of you since you have known me. as without experiencing failure, graduates, you will never truly succeed in your lives. Good luck, and always remember the ancient proverb, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with your very first step. Thank you. It now gives me tremendous pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest, Mr. Graham MacDonald, MBE. Thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Headmaster. I was just saying to Dr. Dan, during that wonderful ensemble, I'm probably the only person in the room who can remember when the original movie came out. And you did a lot better than Lulu did, I can tell you. He's a tall man. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, graduates, it is an honour to be here, and I was delighted to accept the invitation from the Headmaster. It is always a pleasure to visit a great academic institution, one engaged in preparing the leaders of tomorrow. I was at a place called Repton, which was founded in 1557, and there are not many schools older than that, but Bromsgrove is one of them. However, I'm here today to talk to you not about the past, but about the future, and about the opportunity you have to create a world much different to the one that we see today. My message to you is that such a world is within our reach. But if we are to succeed, we have to make some hard decisions and change the way we work together. And always remember what Nelson Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it's done. To be or not to be, Mr. Shakespeare or Mr. Button? Many of you will actually think it was Shakespeare who came up with these immortal words, but it was also my second grade teacher, Mr. Button, deciding on whether I should be put into 2A or 2B. For some reason he chose the former, and this allowed me to go in with the supposed intelligentsia of the school, and also start Latin earlier than all the other boys. This gave me an advantage with English, as Latin makes up a large part of the basic language. Strip away the prefixes and the suffixes and you get down to the bare bones. Once you're down to the bare bones, you can create almost anything, and that is important to remember. As is the fact that you will learn more from your mistakes than you will from your successes. I've come here today not only to address the parents, but also the children, who will be the next generation of leaders in this great country and elsewhere. You are the future. The education you have received here will set you up for life. It is up to you how you use this incredible gift and privilege that you have been given by your parents. You may think you are just ordinary. This is not true. We all have the potential to be extraordinary and to make a difference. This is your chance to fulfill your dreams and your destiny. Enjoy it. There are many different kinds of leaders: businessmen, politicians, generals, admirals, heads of charities, even headmasters, and a host of others too. All have a contribution to make, as everyone does in our society. Let us try and fold some of what I've just said into the present situation and how things can be different in years to come. The state of the world's economy is a concern that rises above almost all others, and rightly so. If you were living in the West today, then you will probably know someone who has been personally affected and by having to endure large debts, a friend, a neighbour, a member of your family. It is the worry you wake up with and the source of sleepless nights. It is the job you thought you'd retire from, but have now lost. The business you built your dreams upon is now hanging by a thread. and you may be potentially responsible for making many people redundant. It is the college acceptance letter that your child has had to put back into the envelope because you can no longer afford to send them to university. The impact of what is happening in Europe and elsewhere is real, and it is everywhere. It does not just happen over there. Life is cyclical. It has happened here in the past, and it will happen here again. It is how you prepare for it that matters. One of the great human traits is the way we bounce back, and no one epitomises this more so than the Thais, who have had such a fantastic resilience that it is hard to match anywhere else. Since I have lived here, there has been the Asian currency crisis, tsunamis, earthquakes, floods, military coups, riots, airport occupations, and many other problems that would slap most people down. And I have not even mentioned the international events that then affect Thailand by themselves. The Thais bounce back, saying that they will rebuild, will recover, and will re-emerge stronger than before. They are an incredible people, and we would do to emulate them in most things. The answers to our problems do not lie beyond our reach. They exist in our schools, laboratories, and universities, in our fields and in our factories, in the imaginations of our entrepreneurs and the pride of some of the hardest working people on earth. Those qualities that have made Thailand what it is and what you do now reflect on the country's performance in the future. In the words of Captain James T. Kirk, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Now, if we are honest with ourselves, we should admit that for far too long we have not always met these responsibilities. I say this not to lay blame or look backwards, but only because it is by understanding how we arrived at this moment do we then are able to lift ourselves out of this predicament. As the Spanish philosopher Santayana said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. In other words, we have lived through an era where all too often short-term gains are prized over long-term prosperity. Unfortunately, politicians have to get re-elected. This being so, they have failed to look beyond the next payment, the next quarter, or the next election. A surplus becomes an excuse to transfer wealth to the wealthy instead of an opportunity to invest in our future. Regulations being gutted for the sake of a quick profit at the expense of a healthy market. People bought homes they knew they couldn't afford from banks and lenders who pushed those bad loans anyway. And all the while, critical debates and difficult decisions were put off for some other time, on some other day, to be made by some other person. Well, the day of reckoning has arrived, and the time to take charge of our future is here. It is now. Now is the time to act boldly and wisely, not only to revive this world's economy, but to build a new foundation for lasting prosperity. Now is the time to jumpstart job creation, restart lending, and invest in areas like energy, healthcare, and education that will grow the world's economies, even as we make hard choices to bring down the global deficits to much more realistic levels. The concern is that if we do not restart now, our recovery will be choked off before it even begins. But that does not mean we can afford to ignore long-term challenges. I do not accept the view that says our problems will simply take care of themselves. That says we have no role in laying the foundation for our common prosperity. History tells us a different story. History reminds us that at every moment of economic and military upheaval and transformation, someone has responded with bold action and big ideas. We are not here to talk about war, but how you can help civilization progress forward, how you can become a catalyst for the future development of mankind. By creating this environment, you can and will help thousands of entrepreneurs and new businesses to adapt and to thrive. You can be the reason why millions of people have jobs and a healthy way of life. The private sector growth is reaping impressive development gains, especially when coupled with more effective pro-poor interventions on the behalf of governments, international donors, local businesses and civil society. Today, extreme poverty is in retreat. In 1990, 43% of the developing world lived on less than $1.25 a day. It is estimated that 20 years later, the global poverty rate dropped to 21%. The first Millennium Development Goal of the World Bank to halve extreme poverty was achieved 5 years ahead of time. That's an incredible success, but it does not mean we can stop there. And the advances in the social sector are perhaps even more remarkable. In the last decade, 8 million AIDS patients have received antiretroviral therapy. The annual number of malaria deaths has dropped by 75%, and the total number of out-of-school children has fallen by over 40%. Looking ahead, I believe the conditions are in place for continued strong performance in developing countries. Yet we cannot take growth rates for granted. Maintaining growth of 6%, let alone 7 or 8%, for the many economies achieved during the pre-crisis boom will require sustained reformed efforts to achieve half of that. For example, countries must continue to improve the quality of education, governance and business climate. They must modernise their infrastructure, ensure energy and food security and enhance financial intermediation. A second crucial challenge for the medium term is the problem of inequality. Often the mention of inequality causes a mood of quiet embarrassment and shuffling of feet. We have to break the taboo of silence on this difficult but critically important issue. Even if rapid economic expansion in the developing world continues, this does not mean that everyone will automatically benefit from the development process. Assuring that the growth is inclusive is both a moral imperative and a crucial condition for sustained economic development. We know that despite the dramatic successes of the last decade, there are still around 1.3 billion people, that's around 1 in 7 people, living in extreme poverty. 870 million who go hungry every day, and 6.9 million children under the age of 5 dying every year. The World Bank reckons that in the last 5 years, roughly 50 million people have been lifted out of poverty in India alone. But in the next generation, it estimates that with a concerted push, an additional 300 million people in India could escape extreme poverty. If it can be done there, it can be done elsewhere. The population of the ASEAN Economic Community is well over 600 million. It is estimated that by 2030, over 200 million will be classed as middle class. Why can't this be 250 or even 300 million? If nothing else, a cynic would think of their spending power. The leaders of the future, this is you, must be concerned about inequality and exclusion. They should want to create economic opportunities for the vulnerable citizens and bring growth to the homes of the poor and the relatively disadvantaged, whether they live on $1 a day or $10 a day. These new leaders, you, should want to help those who have only recently escaped extreme poverty secure the resources they need to enjoy the new foundation of a middle class. And they will want to ensure that the gains they have achieved over the past decades are sustainable, socially, fiscally, and environmentally. But we know that ending extreme poverty is not enough. We must also work to boost the incomes of the poorest 40% of the population in each country. Focusing on the bottom 40% captures the twin elements of shared prosperity and the imperative of economic growth matched with a strong concern for equity. In a global economy where the valuable skill you can sell is your knowledge, A good education is no longer just a pathway to opportunity, it is a prerequisite. What you have learned here at Bromsgrove, what you have been taught by your parents, and what you will read in university and elsewhere, this is a chance very few people get. Do not waste it. It is not impossible to run a successful business, look after your family, and help others less fortunate than yourself, all at the same time. We need more people to get a better education, because we know the countries that out-teach us today will out-compete us tomorrow. Even if you think this is just an old man wittering on and do not buy into what I am saying, then look at it in a Machiavellian, cynical way. We need to help others so we can protect ourselves, a win-win situation for all concerned. If we help to spend, then the more money you will make. All of this sounds very businesslike and hard-nosed, but in my life I have also learned that hope is found in the most unlikely places, that inspiration often comes not from those with the most power or celebrity, but from the dreams and aspirations of ordinary folk who are anything but ordinary. Their words and their stories tell us something about the spirit of the people. They tell us that even in the most trying times, amid the most difficult circumstances, there is a generosity, a resilience, a decency, and a determination that perseveres, a willingness to take responsibility for our future and for posterity. Their resolve must be our inspiration. Their concerns must be our cause, and we must show them and everyone else that we are equal to the task before us. In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, human progress never rolls in on wheels of inevitability. It comes through the tireless efforts of men and women. I say to those parents sat here now, if we act today, if we work relentlessly towards ending extreme poverty and boosting shared prosperity, we have the opportunity to create a world for our children which is defined not by stark inequities, but by soaring opportunities. A sustainable world where all households have access to what they deserve. A world where we can all happily prosper. I say to the children sat here now, you can and must do your part too. By helping others, you will help yourself, your family and your country. Not just in terms of finances, but in terms of being a better person and becoming an important part of the community. As President Kennedy said at his inaugural address in 1961, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what can you do for your country. This way everyone can benefit. You do not have to aim high all the time. Recently, one of the charities I help supplied 200 mosquito nets to an orphanage. Simple, effective, and this action should reduce malaria and dengue fever. It is also economically sound, as it will reduce potential medical costs. It is the world we all want for ourselves, for our children, for our children's children, and for all future generations. The defining and ongoing innovations of this age, biotechnology, the computer, the internet, give us a chance that we have never had before, and that is to end extreme poverty and end death from preventable diseases. The magical thing about this aforementioned network, which I still don't understand, is not just that it collapses distance and makes everyone your neighbour, it also dramatically increases the number of brilliant minds we can have working together on the same problem. And that scales up the rate of innovation and solution to a staggering degree. At the same time, for every person in the world who has access to this technology, 5 do not. That means many creative minds are left out of this discussion. Smart people with practical intelligence and relevant experience who do not have the technology to hone their talents or contribute their ideas to the world. This must change. You graduates are coming of an age at an amazing time. As you leave Bromsgrove, You have technology at your fingertips that members of my generation never had. The only thing I was allowed to take to my O-levels was a slide rule. You probably don't know what that is. You have the awareness of global inequity, which we did not have. And with that awareness, you likely also have an informed conscience that should torment you if you abandon those people whose lives you could change with very little effort. You have more than we had. You must start sooner and carry on longer. Knowing what you know, how can you not? And I hope you will come back here in 30 years' time, when I'm sure the headmaster will still be here, and reflect on what you have done with your talent and your energy. I hope you will judge yourselves not on your professional accomplishments alone, but also on how well you have addressed the world's deepest inequities, and how well you have treated people a world away who have nothing in common with you but their humanity. Even after all of this, if you do not like the sound of what I've been saying, but still want to influence the future and become a teacher and look after the next generation, as Winston Churchill said, headmasters have powers at their disposal with which prime ministers have never yet been invested. You have the choice to be or not to be. Education and information give you freedom of choice. Choose wisely. As to quote Shakespeare, there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. You have the choice of deciding whether or not to improve the world that we live in and help those who cannot help themselves. You can do this by creating a business for all environment where everybody benefits. Go forward and make this world a better place while pursuing your higher education and realising your dreams. The very best of luck to you all. Thank you.
Many thanks to Mr. MacDonald for his inspirational words to our graduates this evening. Please accept this token of our... Now, as you all know, all students at Bromsgrove belong to our house. And the next part of our graduation ceremony is going to make mention of that. It is the presentation of your graduation certificates, following which you will have that opportunity to have the photo that I know you've all been wanting all year, the group photo, and then the second one where you get to throw the hats in the air. So, to actually present the graduation certificates to you, I'd like to invite Dr. Moore back to the stage. And we've changed it up a little bit. Rather than just having your names read out in one long list, your heads of house are going to introduce you individually with a little anecdote. So if I can invite the three heads of house to the stage, please. Speaking first, Miss Tarrant for Edward's house.
I like the way that they just said what to do that.
Kendon has thrown herself into school life since she joined us in Year 12 and made a real impact with her peers. She is a well-liked young lady who gains equal respect from both staff and students. Kendon has enjoyed her charity work and has helped to raise money for the earthquake victims. She always helps others and has a great outlook on life. We will miss seeing you about campus, and we wish you all the best in the very future. Ego is a dedicated and focused student, and we are sure that she has a bright future ahead of her. She's made a real mark on both the students and staff, throwing herself into all aspects of school life, academic, boarding and house activities. She's a fantastic actress, has lit up the stage a number of times in both exam pieces and a whole school production. Good luck in the future, Iga. We look forward to hearing about all your success. JJ has been a solid member of our school for 8 long years. We love him for his unique fashion and style. JJ has been an excellent house captain, always supporting school life and encouraging younger students to compete in house competition. He has shown his love for Jason during the talent show. He is dedicated to his studies, but has also shown his talents during drama productions. You will be missed at Bromsgrove, and we wish you all the best. Amy had a very successful time with us at Bromsgrove. She is a quite young lady with a great focus and determination to succeed. Amy has been a real help with the house and has contributed well to the house events and wider school events. She was a great help to Mrs. Murray during the set construction for Big Brothers. We wish you a well-deserved future, Amy. Thames is a delightful young man. He is keen to help out around the school for the arrangement of events from house competitions. He was of great assistance during Blood Brothers and in the organisation of the prom. We wish you all the very best for what we are sure will be a bright future. Pim is a used character that brightens anyone's day with her smile and sense of humour. She has been excellent in her role as a house captain and has helped me a great deal, especially with the lip sync, even though she would not allow me to take part. Her mature approach means that she is an inspiration to the younger students and her involvement in a wide range of activities. All the very best for the future, Pim. I am sure that you will do very well.
As well, we would not have an electronic scoreboard in school. There we are, amazing.
And now introducing Taylor House, Mr. Young.
Okay. Lucky always has a smile on her face and a skip in her step. She's known for her hard work and cheerful attitude and her readiness to get involved and help her friends. Her teachers repeatedly singled her out as someone who is determined, iron-willed and a great role model. So don't let the smile fool you. She's actually quite scary. I hope she'll be lucky in both name and nature, but with her attitude, I don't think she'll need the luck. Clever and sharp-witted, Maria is a thoughtful and introspective person who always surprises with her insight. She's never been afraid to think about things and say things exactly as she sees them. She's brave, hard-working and confident, which means being fortunate enough to see her perform on stage in musical solos and ensemble pieces like tonight. I've been fortunate enough to teach Maria this year and she's always been able to see the difficult questions. I hope she keeps asking in the future because it will take her very far. Pat is such an outstanding example of a Bromsgrove pupil that I knew about him before I even came to the school. His hard work, dedication and achievements are too numerous to list, though if you asked him, I think he might be able to. He's been such a star, but just remember he'll be in charge of absolutely any project put in front of him. Don't mention dressing up around him, because it doesn't seem that he can say no to any opportunity. As head boy, he's been a role model and an inspiration for many of our younger students. He's an outstanding representative to the school, an example of how hard work leads to great things. Peter is one of the most laid-back people I think I've ever met. He's quick with a smile and he's rarely annoyed. He's been Taylor House captain this year and he's always been ready to get involved. At times it's taken a lot of bravery this year and he's put himself up on stage and done things that, frankly, I don't think I would have done. He's worked very hard for Taylor House this year. He's shown excellent maturity and leadership, and I'm sure he'll continue to shine thanks to his calm and friendly outlook on life. It's Peter. Finally, Susan, frighteningly organised Susan. She's always ready to take control of a situation, isn't afraid of being blunt and to the point. She's always smiling, but don't come between her and her studies. Susan might be the only student who gives teachers more marking than they set work. She's ambitious, intelligent, and knows how to set her mind to something and get it done. We've been fortunate to have someone like her in our school, and she's a great example, again, of how hard work gets things done. This is Susan.
And now to introduce Walters, Mr. Williams.
Hi. I just want to say very quickly before I start that you guys made me feel so welcome when I started working here, and I just think you're an absolutely fantastic year group, and I'll miss all of you, so congratulations. Always save the best till last. Not on this occasion though. We'll start off with Bam. Bam is a delightful and popular young man with an infectious smile and a heart of gold. He's always willing to help out with school events, and his creative flair meant that Jade looked sensational for the Walters Sixth Form entry for the Trashin' Show, and the door that he created for World Book Week saw Walters take first prize once again. We wish you lots of luck in the future, Bam. I'm sure whatever you do will be a huge success. Ben was fortunate enough to have me as a form tutor last year, and it was a pleasure getting to know him from his first day at Bromsgrove. Ben is such a grounded and well-rounded young man, and he reminds me a lot of me. I clearly inspired. I can play basketball. He reminds me a lot of me. Anyway, caring, intelligent, a huge sporting prowess, and unbelievably modest. What is there not to like? He has led the sporting events of the house this year with a quiet confidence that has inspired the students of Walters. We will miss you about the school next year, Ben, and I'm sure you'll be a fantastic success in the future.
Now, I must ask you all to be absolutely silent. And if you listen very carefully, you may just hear the sounds of the next student.
Who can often be found snoring in the library while he's revising. One of the founding members of the self-titled so-called Team Handsome, Christy has made a great impact on us here at Bromsgrove, willing to jump into so many house events and not scared of taking a risk in the process. Who in this room can erase the image of Christy's Beyonce moves during the lip-sync battle? Good luck in whatever you do in the future, Christy, and if you work hard, maybe one day you'll be as handsome as I am. Like Ben, Hojan was fortunate enough to be in my tutor group last year, and I've really enjoyed working with Hojan in my role as head of house this year. He's a thoughtful young man, seriously focused on his studies and his desire to succeed. He's always found in the library or common room, studying hard, and this determination is seriously impressive. Coupled with this, he has a unique style all of his own. Who else from year 12 could have been crowned as prom prince at the prom last year? Good luck in the future, Ho-Jin. You'll be a great success in whatever you do. Jade has shone like a star on this very stage since this building opened. From her ditzy rendition of Audrey in last year's Little Shop of Horrors, to the emotional powerhouse that was Mrs. Johnson in this year's Blood Brothers, we've loved every performance. She's also been a crucial member of our ensemble choir, representing the artistic face of BIST in many external events and school performances. Jade has been delightful to work with in her role as head girl, approaching and caring, a real role model to our students. Good luck in the future, Jade. I'm sure we will see your name in the lights one day. I've really enjoyed working with Pat this year, and she's been a fantastic house captain, leading our house events and activities with real confidence, and has been a very strong role model to all the students in the house. And she's made sure of this by fully participating in all the events and displaying excellent leadership skills. Her mature approach to school life means that she quickly settled into Bromsgrove like she'd been here from year 7. It's hard to believe that Pat only joined us at the start of year 12. Congratulations on such a successful time with us, Pat, and all the very best. Don't be nervous, Pi. I remember speaking to you, Pi, last year and encouraging you to stay this year, and I'm sure you'll agree that I was right. Yes? Yeah, good. I am worried about next year, so I'm going to ask you to stay for another year, if that's all right. Is that okay? Because basically, I'll be out of a job without having Pi to say to every 2 minutes, can you tuck your shirt in, please? Can you do your tie? What time is this? Oh, I'm not going to have a job to do, Pi. Pi, you're an amazing young man who is liked in equal measure by the whole school, don't do that, whole school community. A true gentleman with a great sense of humour. Your half-tie joke is the stuff of legend. All the best in the future, Pi. I wish you every success. Like Ben before him, Tay is a seriously modest young man who will often hide his skills and talents away from all to see. Who knew that Tay could converse fluently in sign language, which I didn't know about until one lunchtime when he was talking to Ben. I've really enjoyed getting to know Tay, especially this year. A gifted mathematician and economist with a strong desire to succeed. Tay has a sharp sense of humour, which most recently seen when he dressed up in a dress to highlight inequality, although I was a little bit worried that he and Kat enjoyed it too much. Tay's a huge part of Bromsgrove, having been with us for 10 years, and as such will leave a big gap, and we will miss you a lot, Tay, and wish you all the very best.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the class of 2016.
Now, I don't want to be health and safety conscious.
So, as has been mentioned by the heads of house, we had 2 student leaders in our year 13 this year, head boy Pat and head girl Jade. They've been inspirational to all of the students in the school, from year 7 all the way up to year 13 and even into the primary school. They've each prepared a speech for us this evening. It's a speech for the parents and also for their class. Their final words to you as members of year 13 at Bromsgrove. First of all, I'd like to invite Pat to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. I have a confession. See this guy? He's actually not my long-lost twin brother. He's not my cousin. He's actually me. What? Yeah, well, I guess it's quite obvious. I mean, very obvious, but I don't want to leave loose ends because this will be the last time I'll be standing on this stage speaking up to all of you as head boy, as a classmate, as a student. I'm sure in the future we'll be looking back to these days thinking, the good old days. I mean, for me, those times would definitely be in math class, blaming Tay for every mistake I make, debating with Ben every Tuesday where to leave our bags so that it would require the least amount of effort, and of course, the infamous Pat jokes. Speaking of which, I have one saved up for you guys today. Everyone will have their own trivial moments like these where they'll look back and say, the good old days, but when you're living the moment, you won't realize it. So when you're off to university, you might be getting so much work, you're like, so tired, so exhausted, I don't want to work anymore. In the future, you might be looking back to that saying, the good old days. Just food for thought. The past 10 years I've spent in Bronx Grove has gone by extremely quickly. It's something I would like to say in a speech like this. That's not true. If I had to average it out, find the mean perceived time, and compare that to actual time which has passed, it would be very similar, if not the same. Good times? Time flies. Not so good times? It doesn't. Now I'm not willing to say that all the times I've had in these years are good ones. What I'm willing to say is that I don't regret a single thing. Because it's all these experiences, all these bad times, which taught me how to be me. Forged me into who I am. Showed me who I want to be. Now, I believe these so-called bad times are actually a blessing in disguise, for it's these times which we grow the most. And as a class, we've had times of tension, times of frustration, times of depression. So I would like to take this opportunity to say this on behalf of everyone. I'm sorry for all the hardships I've caused. I forgive you for everything you have done. And I thank you. It's been an honor to have failed, to have cried, to have gotten back up, to have learned, to have hurdled over all those obstacles, and to have graduated together. From this point on, our paths diverge. We take separate ways. We specialize in different things. A chapter in our lives has come to an end, and we tread into the unknown. And the unknown is scary. It's going to be hard. No one ever said it's going to be easy. Life is difficult, and the world is cruel. And you're probably going to feel like you're never going to be successful. Heck, some of you might not even know what success means to you. To some, success might mean being rich, getting married, settling down, having a family, winning a Nobel Prize, helping the less fortunate, saving a life. Well, as much as striving to become successful, I believe that life is also about defining what success means to you. Now you might look ahead at the path ahead of you and say, can't even see the destination. Will I ever get there? Well, sure, the probability of getting there, being successful, might be small, minuscule. But if you don't attempt it at all, it's not a probability, it's impossible. Now look at me, I just took a step. What's the probability that my foot landed there? Exactly there. Not a micrometer more, in that direction, or this direction. What's the probability that it landed exactly there with that exact amount of force? Not a nanonewton more or less. What's the probability it landed there in that exact amount of time? Not a picosecond more, or less. Infinitesimal. Now multiply out all the probabilities of every single action you've ever made, every choice you've ever taken in your life. Now what's the probability that you executed it exactly the way which you did? Might as well be 0, but you've done it. You. Not just you. You. Everyone. You are all living proof that no matter how small the probability, it's a probability and it can still happen. So whenever you're feeling down, feel like giving up, grit your teeth, look forward, keep walking. Do something your future self will thank you for. Stay determined. Get excited, because you should be. There's so much ahead of you. Or should I say, egg-cited? Because that's the last pet joke I'll be cracking. BGM signing out. Thank you.
And now I'd like to welcome Jade to the stage.
All right, so here we are, the class of 2016. I have to admit, when Chloe and Kevin stood up here last year, I thought this day would be a while away, but here we are. Now, I want to take you back 2 years when a little blonde had just had a 12-hour flight to Bangkok and drove straight from the airport to her new school. Now, this girl was nervous and scared because she was arriving late, and she thought, what if they've already made friends? What if they've formed groups? Am I going to be left out? Well, when she arrived and was directed to you all in the canteen, and thankfully showered, you welcomed her, and she's never felt left out. Since that day, our friendship has only grown stronger, and as a year group, we have grown closer, whether it's through the suffering of our IA trips or sixth form expeditions. We survived it. And not only did we survive that, but we have survived every moment leading up to this moment. That's something to be proud of. Now, with school almost complete and the future ahead of us, some of us are certain of what lays ahead and others not so sure, but hey, that's nothing to worry about. Don't think you need to have your entire life planned out. Don't think that this is your one and only chance of success, because it's not. I mean, look for example at Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC. Sorry, I like chicken. He didn't become successful until the age of 62. So you've got plenty of time, and Mum, Dad, you've still got hope too. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, trust me, it's not the end. And hey, just say your plan A doesn't work out. Don't worry, the alphabet has 25 more letters. Now, over the past 2 years, you may have noticed that I kind of might have a little bit of a passion for acting, maybe, but I've kind of written a poem that describes each and every one of you, as we all have our unique personality traits that make us who we are and form us as a year group. Walking to school in the morning, taking a breath of fresh air, but oh dear, the wind has messed up with our hair. Then along comes the sassy and aesthetic Bam, with his hairstyling skills making everyone go damn. Next up is a nature-loving man. His name tends to be associated with the ending of Pan. He's all alone in geography, measuring maps by centimetre. No one else fits this description than Peter. Following close behind him is the wannabe thug, with his endless talking and you wishing for an earplug. He's got a passion for skateboarding and extremely carefree. Oh God, help us. It's Christy. But whoa, what was that? Faster than thunder and lightning, the dragonfly master on his way to do some enlightening. He's got quite the comedian with a good sense of style. There goes JJ, he's running that extra mile. And now for a Korean who always appears calm, but don't underestimate his silence, he's sure to cause great harm. He always dresses with swag, for that he's well known. I think we can all agree it's Hojin in his pink iPhone. Now into the common room, there's someone playing games with a great love for the cats and tigers that he tames. He's kind and tells jokes, at least he does try. Who else could it be that are always on time pie? Sitting right beside him is someone often found in the sports hall. He's well known for his love and passion of the game of basketball. Another passion of his is to be a pilot with a world view. It's our Aussie Ben, the slam-dunking kangaroo. The next guy is named after an English river. He originally wanted to be a doctor, but got put off by dissecting liver. He's often heard complaining with his A-star dream hates to be incorrect. We all know him as Thames, the kind-hearted architect. Attention, attention, it's a military commander. You should see his moves as he's really quite the dancer. And on a trip to teach English, he gave a science lesson. It's Pat moonwalking by with a super cool sock fashion. Lastly for the boys is someone who's chosen the economics life. However, a certain someone might turn him into a housewife. He's always keen to help no matter what time of day. It's the humble genius and trustworthy Tay. The first young lady is often seen with her little brother of whom she critiques, and she can often be heard out shouting, "Help me, physics!" She's always well-dressed, hard-working and very brainy, and she's got a hidden dancing talent. Oops, the secret's out, Amy. Next up is the world's biggest lover of bread. The resting look on her face can cause people to drop dead. She has a passion for performing and eating crackers too. She's eager, the best media studies student, it's true. Stuck sharing a room with her is the future lawyer. That's if her history exam doesn't destroy her. She's caring, always smiling, shaking her bubble head. Watch out, Kendon, there's a jing jock in your bed. Now, don't underestimate the next girl. She's truly very feisty. She's always making us laugh and runs the boarding shop nicely. Her future worldwide hotels will be the best by far. And as Britney Spears said it best, she's so lucky she's a star. Next up is the world's biggest pug lover. She'll always be there for you and is a hamster grandmother. Her hair is always flawless and so is her personality. It's no other than Mr. England's #1 fan, Pimmy. The next lady likes to add the term psycho before her name. Being a primary school teacher is her aim. She likes to take naps and travelling to faraway lands. Who other than Pat selling her noodles and making grands? Now this girl's well known for her cooking and cleaning skills, and with her LSE degree will be making sure we pay our bills. She's determined, hardworking, but don't buy her pet fish. It's Susan cracking her eggs, that's her speciality dish. Last but not least is K-pop's #1 fan, whose originally blonde hair seemed to have gotten a tan. She's the most talented singer and always has something to say. But to sum up our Maria, she likes to stay in bed all day. And so there we are, the class of 2016, with the world ahead of us and so much to be seen. I wish you all the best and hope all your dreams come true. And I shall end this poem by saying, it's been an honour knowing all of you.
So, as you can see, according to the programme, we have come to the end of our evening. But we have a little surprise. So, one of the Year 13s has taken it upon themselves to produce something that you are, I think, going to remember for a long time to come.
Mom!
And your blood brother, Bob.
We would all just like to wish you good luck with your next exciting adventure in London.
Have lots of fun, but work hard too.
And keep in touch often.
Not just when you need some money.
And don't forget Stag is free.
Speaking of which,
remember us when you're rich and famous.
especially that Range Rover like you promised me.
All the best for graduation. Take
See you
care.
later.
See ya. Bye.
Firstly, I just wanted to say that I'm really, really proud of all that you've accomplished throughout your whole life. And obviously it's because you've got me as a role model. No, I'm just kidding. No, I wish you all the best in England. I know you're going to go really far and you're going to do your absolute best because that's what you always do. Just a tip for living alone, try not to live off pot noodles the whole time. And best of luck. I love you, Jade.
Cristina, salutări de la Chișinău. Noi te iubim, ne punem mari nădejde în viitorul tău și îți dorim tot binele din lume. Hello, Christy. Greetings from Moldova. We love you.
영경이가 너의 졸업 선물로 원 디렉션의 One Way or Another 이라는 노래에 맞춰서 춤을 춰준대. 자, 감상하시겠습니다.
언니 졸업 축하해. 인정아 졸업 축하해. One day or another, I gotta see you. One day or another, I gotta see you. Gonna meet you. One day. 언니 졸업 축하해.
Congratulations on your graduation. We love you.
Kendan, I would like to let you know that I'm very, very proud of you because you've grown up to be a very beautiful person, both from inside and outside. And I love you very much, and you're the best daughter a mother could ever have.
Congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Congratulations, I love you.
We're very proud of you. Congratulations. And we always stand by you, whatever you want to do. We're looking forward to having you home, baby.
Congratulations on your graduation day. Yeah, don't eat much, stop hunting. Anyways, I miss you a lot and love you.
Hi, Zen. Congratulations. You have always been an inspiration to me. I hope I can follow your footsteps. Love you. Bye.
Yo, Kens, what's up? Ugly girl. Life is not a bed of roses, and you will face adversities. How you deal with them is what defines you. Love you to death.
Hi, congratulations on finishing high school. I wouldn't worry about your exams too much. We all know you did great. Well, if you thought the past 12 years have been difficult, you are in for a pleasant surprise. This is the beginning of the rest of your life as an independent young man. You'll be in the position to make all your own decisions and to be in charge of the future. I know that you will make the most out of it, as you have done so far. I know you will overcome other challenges just because you're my brother. Anyway, enjoy your holiday. I'll see you here soon in the UK, and all the best to the class of 2016.
This is an important day, not only to you, but also to all of us. The day that you achieved the first milestone in your life. You always work hard on what you do, but the harder work is waiting for you ahead. Keep doing on what you do. You had a lot of energy inside, like two atoms come very close, then collide at very high speed. Joy to form a new nucleus, create enormous power, or what you call binding energy. And use that energy to reach your dream. Congratulations, I'm very proud of you. And also to all of you, class of 2016, congratulations to you too. And good luck to everyone.
Congratulations, Benjamin.
Congratulations, Benjamin.
Congratulations, Ben, on finishing 13 years of school. Born in Cairo 18 years ago, boy, haven't you been around the world a couple of times. Seen the pyramids and the Sphinx, the carnival lifestyle on the beaches of the Caribbean, and the outback of Australia and the beaches of Thailand.
Big brother to Jeremy and Nicholas, a proud big brother and always fun to have around.
Sport took up a big portion of our weekends. Swimming, taekwondo, footy, but more important to you, basketball. Congratulations on leading the Bromsgrove to the TSAC Championships.
We wish you all the best of good fortune in university. Enjoy the experience.
We love you and look forward to being a part of your further growing. Good luck, you fine young man.
Congratulations น้องเต้สำหรับในช่วงวันเวลาหัวเลี้ยวหัวต่อที่น้องเต้จะต้องก้าวสู่ระดับมหาวิทยาลัยต่อไป
พื่อเป็นวิชาชีพในการที่จะเลี้ยงชีพต่อตัวเองป้าและแม่ขอส่งกำลังใจให้กับน้องเต้สู้ๆน้องเต้กับป้าและแม่
ฮัลโหลน้องเต้นะจิ๊บค่ะยินดีด้วยนะคะCongratulations, graduate path. I hope you will have the beginning of bright future in university and have a wonderful year there. Okay? And Arrow, also congratulations with you too. Najlepszego na zakończenie szkoły. Jestem z siebie taka dumna, Jezu. Pamiętam, jak na mnie chciałaś powiedzieć, że w ogóle składałaś papiery, a teraz zobacz. Po prostu skończyłaś i... Wow! Naprawdę, jestem z siebie strasznie dumna i cieszę się, że dałaś radę.
Gratuluję Ci wszystkiego, co osiągnęłaś, bo wiem, jak ciężko na to pracowałaś i gratuluję, że udało nam się utrzymać obu kontakt przez cały ten czas.
Z całego serca, żebyś nadal spełniała swoje marzenia i nigdy się nie poddawała.
Hi guys, it's me and Luke. Well, not from Brighton, but we're in Brighton now. And we'd like to congratulate the class of 2016! And I'd like to congratulate Peter in particular for making it this far, because who knew you'd make it this far? And I know, right? Here you are, you did it. I'm super, super proud of you, and I'm pretty sure Mom and Dad are proud of you too. And I hope all of you enjoy the last few days you have left at school. Enjoy prom, enjoy whatever's left of school, because you will miss it. Trust me, you will.
You will.
We're not kidding. As much as you want to leave, you will miss it. And prepare yourselves for the independent life you'll have ahead of you, because it was a shock to both of us, but you will have fun. Trust me, you will all have fun. And basically enjoy yourselves the last few days. And congratulations for making it this far. Bye.
สวัสดีค่ะ น้องพิมแสดงความยินดีด้วยนะคะ หนูได้จบและจากมัธยมปลายต่อไปหนูก็จะไปเข้ามหาวิทยาลัยแล้ว
Congratulations my dear
ค่ะ ก็ขอให้หนูได้เข้าเรียนในคณะและมหาวิทยาลัยที่หนูตั้งความหวังไว้นะคะ ขอให้ทำให้ดีที่สุด แล้วก็เวลาใช้ชีวิตในมหาวิทยาลัยเนี่ยก็ใช้ชีวิตอย่างมีสติแล้วก็ทำให้ทุกอย่างเนี่ยมันมีความถูกต้องตั้งใจค่ะ
สู้ๆลูกก้าวต่อไปอย่างมั่นคงนะป้ากับแม่จะคอยเป็นกำลังใจให้หนูแล้วก็ซัพพอร์ตหนูตลอดไปนะลูก
ค่ะรักหนูนะคะรักมากๆด้วย
ป้าก็รักหนูค่ะ
ค่ะ
ยินดีด้วยครั้งหนึ่งนะ
บ๊ายบาย